Hey guys, it's Calculating Genius, and this is the iPod Shuffle 2nd generation. This thing is not an iPod Shuffle 2nd generation. This is a knockoff of the iPod Shuffle 2nd generation, and look, it's pink. Isn't that amazing? I actually use this thing a lot more than I like to admit, but I actually carry this thing around me with me everywhere. It's always clipped to my pocket. Looks good. On top of that, this thing has an entire whopping 1 gigabyte of recording music and stuff onto this. Actually, you can only record music onto this. Yeah, this thing is actually better, in my opinion, than the original iPod Shuffle 2nd generation, because this thing has something that the old iPod didn't have. It's a USB port, so you can easily actually charge this thing and transfer music files. You don't have to get some weird headphone jack adapter, something that you can't take granted these days. And they actually use the headphone jack for charging and stuff instead of using the charging port for headphones. Boosh! Yeah, so it's kind of stupid in my opinion how they literally changed that all up because they just had to get some sort of MP3 player. But this is completely different in my opinion. Look at those buttons. Those buttons look absolutely amazing, don't they? These are the weirdest buttons I've ever seen on an MP3 player. They're like all curves and stuff. And the play button is way too small, so I usually end up skipping a track or adjusting the volume whenever I press play or pause because my fingers are too big. But honestly, it's not that annoying. And there's no branding on this thing either. Look, it just says iPod by Alip Company. I actually wrote that on there. I have no clue who manufactured this. I tried looking up iPod Shuffle Knockoff, and all I got was actual iPod Shuffle knockoffs that looked really close to the original, but not any with these weird buttons. So you might be asking, where the heck did I get this thing? Well, I got this at a garage sale actually, and I got this thing for free as well. I just found this in a box, and the guy was about to go inside, so I was like, hey, how much for this? And he was just, oh, you can just take this. So yeah, I just kind of took it. And since it was used at a garage sale, there's actually the entire thing filled up with old music and stuff, like actually good albums like by Coldplay, Daft Punk, even like a 320 kilobits MP3 of Hotel California, which I actually kept on here. But I ended up copying and pasting all that into my computer and deleting it off the MP3 player because I kind of wanted to keep all the music because it was actually good music, but I also want to load my own music on here that I would actually enjoy listening to. I wish I had some knockoffs of the other 2 generations of iPod, because honestly I think that would have made this video more interesting, and who knows, I might redo this video in the future if I ever am able to find some weird Chinese knockoffs of the iPod Shuffle. But some things I found weird about the design of the iPod, like the original iPod, not the clones, was that it went from being a stick to a brick to a stick, and then it went back to a brick again. I'm not Apple. I don't make these designs. That's literally the only thing I wanted to rant about on this video about the iPods. The way they freaking made it a stick, a brick, and then a stick and a brick. There's 4 generations of the iPod, and all of them pretty much flopped, honestly, except for maybe the 2nd generation was probably a bit more popular than the rest of them. But the weird thing about them is that they also kept changing all the colors. Like, I think there was like orange, red, pink, and green at the beginning or something, and they added like dark red and blue, and then like a bunch of other colors, and they keep removing all the colors. So honestly, it's pretty weird. Now if we talk about more features rather than downsides to the iPod, we can see that this thing, since it's so small, in addition to the actual iPods, this thing also has a pretty small battery. This thing lasts 4 hours on regular usage. I kind of wish it lasted a bit longer, but that might be due to the fact that the previous owner probably used this for a good 5 or so years, because this thing was probably introduced around 2007 or whenever the heck he was able to buy this thing. who knows, maybe if the guy sets up the garage sale again, I can go to his garage sale again and ask about where the heck he found this. Compared to the original iPod that was actually released by Apple, on the Wikipedia page, it says that playing audio, it should last about 12 hours, which is honestly pretty believable because this thing only plays audio, doesn't do anything else, so it probably lasted about 12 hours at some point, but then slowly just degraded over time. Wait. Remember that cable I said in the last episode that came with the solar panel that was useless? Well, actually, since this thing uses a USB, actually, like a Type B port, I think, this thing actually fits in here, and I can actually charge this. So this cable actually does have a use, which is, I guess, kind of cool. So, since I actually use this thing a lot, and I actually kind of enjoy using it, since it does have a decent amount of storage space for free. This thing probably cost no more than 50 cents when the original person bought it. But I think it's a pretty cool device, and it's honestly pretty awesome. So, there's that.